Okay, so these are the top 3 best builds in NBA 2K23 next gen and current gen. For all these builds, I'm gonna give you guys the next gen version first and then give you guys the current gen version. Without further ado, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and let's hop right into the video. Also, there will be one build that is going to be excluded from this build that is most definitely top 3. And this build is the 6'9" point guard. Definitely, this is probably one of, if not the best builds in the game, but I'm just not gonna be including it in this video because I literally made an entire dedicated video to that build. Be sure to check it out. So for this first build, this is also going to be a point guard. Then for the body settings, we're going much shorter than the 6'9" build, and that is 6'3", 213 pounds, and 6'9" for the wingspan. And then for the body shape, we're going with defined. I think as far as more traditional point guard builds go, this is probably the best body settings for a traditional point guard. Since you are 6'3" and you only have a 6'9" wingspan, obviously your defense is going to be much worse than the 6'9" build. But with that being said, this is in my opinion the best offensive point guard build in this game. For finishing, you guys can see right here, we're gonna upgrade our driving dunk to an 85. And then our driving lay to a 75. This will give us 15 total finishing badges. I would recommend throwing at least 1 extra badge on finishing. You guys know you get that +4 and you also get that +1 from like the battle pass or whatever. And at least one of those badges should go onto finishing. That way you can get 16 total badges and you can pretty much get 2 tier 2 silver badges when it comes to finishing. You're not going to get a ton of contact dunks on this build, but you will get the occasional contact dunk from time to time. Next, for shooting, you're going to want to max out your 3-point rating at a 92, bump up your mid-range to a 78, and your free throw put this at a 73. You'll get 24 total shooting badges, as well as a gold limitless range. The shooting on this build is just so good. You can green from deep very easily. As well, like, if you have a screen, you're getting an open fade every single possession. I'm not even kidding. Now, for playmaking, you're going to want to put up your ball handle to a 94. This way you can get gold handles for days. Then just touch your speed with ball up to a 76, and you're going to want a 79 pass at. I'm pretty sure this build gets basically every single drill move in this game. You really do not need speed with ball at all. If you guys have seen like that Twitter clip that was going around, basically like the comparison between 25 speed with ball and 99 speed with ball is just so small. It makes very little difference. This is one of the most useless stats in the game. But I am going 76 to give us some good dribbling styles, as well as to give us some more playmaking badges. And then pass hack, as long as you're like 70 plus, you should be chilling. If you're playing like a 5v5 game mode, you might want a little bit higher pass hack, but from my limited experience playing 5v5 Pro-Am, it was honestly just fine. For defensive / rebounding, this wasn't the focus of this build, but you're gonna want at least a little bit of defense. You guys see 18 total badges with silver clamps and silver interceptor. Like, this build will be able to hold its own on the defensive end, but it's not gonna be a lockdown. Like, all around, it's just gonna be a very mid defensive build. You don't have to like hide in the corner or something, but it's not gonna be getting like 100 steals a game or something. And then for the physicals, I'll basically go with max acceleration. You only really need an 80 speed. Let me drop my stamina a bit, and then boom, get an 82 vert. You honestly don't really need an 82 vertical very badly. You only need a 75 to get pro contact dunks. But that little bit of extra vertical, in my opinion, is going to help your finishing and help your defense a ton more. If you guys want to, you can like drop down your vertical to a 75 and put this on like speed or something. All around, I do believe this is going to be one of, if not the best scoring point guard builds in this game. That's not like absolutely trash on the defensive end either. Moving on to the takeovers, definitely first gold limitless range. For secondary takeover, this is kind of up to you. I think pull precision is very good. Fades in this game are just so dumb at this point. And then you guys see you built a 2-way 3-point shot creator, which is honestly such a cool name. All around, I do believe this name is very cool, but now it's time for me to show you guys how to make this build on current gen. Okay, so for the current gen version of this build, still you're going to want to go with point guard. Moving right along to the body setting is basically the exact same thing, as 6'3", 208, and 6'9" for the wingspan. For the attributes, this is basically the exact same thing. Some attributes did need to get moved around here and there just to make this build a little bit better, but it is basically the exact same build, just on current gen for those of you guys that are stuck in the GOAT boat. Also, how many of you guys have a next gen console but are just playing on current gen? Because I really want to hear your reasoning why. I'm just very curious at this point. I don't really care about the current and next gen thing as much as some other content creators do, but I am just a little bit curious. For the takes, it's honestly so much more boring. It's just called spot up and shot creator. Current gen just gets like more boring takeovers. And you guys see you get the exact same name because it's basically the exact same build. Now for the next build of this video. Moving right along to build number 2, this is going to be a small forward build, and this is honestly one of the most toxic builds in this game. This and the 6'9" build are, in my opinion, the 2 best builds in the game. For the body settings, I'd recommend going with 6'7", 184 pounds, and 7'4" for the wingspan. This is going to be a lockdown build, and I believe these are the best body settings for a lockdown. Starting things off with finishing, honestly, you have to sacrifice something for this build if you want to get the absolutely insane defensive stats that you guys are going to see me get. And finishing is just the thing I had to sacrifice. You guys see, I'm only getting 7 total badges, only 71 driving dunk. So you're really not going to be rim running on this build all that much. Now, let's say you get the ball in the fast break, or you beat your man to the basket, and you basically just get an open lane, and there's no like giant that's about to like run out of nowhere and swat you. And you'll get some good dunk packages. If you don't know the good dunk packages to equip, then you might struggle a little bit. But yeah, although the finishing on this build is not as good as a lot of other builds, compared to like the builders of 2K22, 2K21, or 2K20, this build's finishing really isn't even that bad. For shooting, pretty much all you're going to upgrade your 3-pointer to an 85. This gives you silver, limitless range, and 18 total shooting badges. You can green super consistently on this build. I'm honestly very surprised Lockdown's able to shoot this well. Now, I did want to be able to create my own shot a little bit, so I am going to upgrade my ball handling to an 85, then touch up my speed with ball a little bit to a 62, and then put my pass up to a 72. Again, speed with ball is just kind of useless. An 85 ball handle will allow you to get a ton of very good dribbling animations, so you can create your own shot. Also, one thing I will say, put at least one extra badge onto playmaking from like the +4 or something, so that way you can get 16 total playmaking badges, and you get that silver handles for days and also silver unpluckable. And if you want to, you can even put another badge to get gold unpluckable. I definitely do not like having a lockdown build where all I can do is pretty much just sit corner and shoot, so I want to be able to create my own shot at least a little bit. Now for defense, watch what I do very carefully. First, perimeter max it out, steal max it out as well, block max that out as well. Then bump up your interior defense 1 rating, gives you an extra badge, and then defense rebound at a 74 and offensive rebound at a 70. This is going to give you 28 total defensive / rebounding badges, as well as a 97 perimeter, a 99 steal, and an 87 block, which gives you Hall of Fame clamps, Hall of Fame interceptor, Hall of Fame glove, and then the silver anchor, which is honestly pretty good. Silver anchor obviously could be better, but trust me, 87 is good enough to get a ton of blocks on this game, especially since this is a perimeter lockdown, so you're gonna usually be guarding like kind of shorter players. And then Hall of Fame clamps is just insane, and a Hall of Fame glove might be the most broken badge in this game. Like genuinely, it's actually just really broken at this point. Basically with Hall of Fame glove, unless you have Hall of Fame unpluckable, all I do is I run up to you, I press square, and I get to steal every single time. I'm sure some of you guys have already seen like those games of people getting like 20+ steals. That is literally how. Glove definitely needs to be patched if it isn't already by the time this video comes out. Now for the physicals, you're going to want to max out your speed and acceleration. Strength, you only need to set at 47. Vertical, you also only need to set at 57, and then max out your stamina at a 92. For the takes, first go with extreme clamps, and then secondary takeover is kind of up to you. You can go with like a sharpshooting takeover if you want to, but since this is a pure lock, I'd either recommend going with perimeter badge drop, or you can go with enhanced jump shot contests. In my opinion, perimeter badge drop is just that tiny bit better than enhanced contests, so I'm gonna go with perimeter badge drop. And then boom, you guys see I built a 3&D wing. Honestly, that is just kind of a boring name, even though it's very accurate. I kind of just wish it said lockdown, and that's it. But either way, it's an accurate name, it does make sense. Now to make this build on current gen. Alright, so for the current gen version of this build, again, you're gonna be a small forward. Body settings, I'm like 99% sure this is the exact same body settings as the previous build. Again, I'm just making this build for you guys that are stuck on the GOAT boat. I'm not gonna make like a completely different build because the builder is basically the exact same with very minor changes. And you guys are gonna see this minor changes right here on the attribute screen. Now, I've honestly already forgotten what the minor changes are that I've made, but you guys can see it's basically the exact same. You're gonna shoot very good. You're gonna be able to dribble a little bit. Your dunking's not the greatest, but your defense is just broken. For the takeovers, definitely go with a first lockdown. Unfortunately, you can't go with double lock take on current gen, so you're gonna have to go with sharp for your secondary takeover. And you guys see I built a 3&D wing because it's basically the exact same build. Now for the third and final build of this video. Okay, so for the third and final build of this video, this is going to be a big man build. For the position, you're gonna want to go with center. Then moving on to the body settings, first for the height, go with 6'11". For the weight, go with 236, And for the wingspan, go with 7'5". By the way, guys, before you guys go in the comment section and tell me this build's gonna get snagged at 24/7, this is most definitely a 3v3 or 2v2 center build, or a power forward on rec center. Now, do I think you guys can run this build at the 5 when it comes to 5v5? Absolutely. You definitely need to understand how rebound positioning works and how to use your speed to get rebounds very, very well over like those taller defenders. But I know a lot of people, as soon as they see a build that's not 7 foot, they just immediately assume you're not going to get a single rebound in any game mode. Like, it honestly just amazes me. Now, moving on to finishing, first for the standing dunk, bump this up to a 90. Then after that, for the driving dunk, I would recommend bumping this up to a 77. For the driving layup, you only really need this at a 70. And then for the close shot, bump this up to a 66. You should get 17 total finishing badges, which pretty much means you're going to get 3 total tier 3 gold badges. You will get gold bully eventually. You guys are going to see you're going to get gold bully a little bit later. For shooting, you're going to want to go with an 85 3-point rating. This pretty much gives you silver limitless range. This is most definitely going to be a very, very good popper build. Playmaking, honestly, you're 6'11". I think you should be able to dribble a little bit. And I do like making dribbling centers, so you're going to want to go with 70 ball handle, 70 pass hack, and then just a 63 sweep of ball. You're really not going to be a ball handler on this build whatsoever. But just like the lockdown build, I believe it's important to have at least a little bit of playmaking. So that way, as soon as you get past the ball, you don't feel like you just have to stand there and you just can't dribble at all. Then for defensive / rebounding, first for the most important stat, block, you're going to want to say 63. You should be able to get gold anchor from this. Then for defensive / rebound, you're also going to want to say 93. That way you can get gold rebound chaser. From there, you're going to want to bump up your offensive rebound a little bit. Don't upgrade your interior defense like I did. This should be at a 73. And then from there, pretty much for your steal, go with a 61. And for your perimeter, you're going to want to go with a 67. In total, you're going to get 26 total defensive / rebounding badges. So your defense is going to be very, very crazy on this build. And then for the physicals, basically you're going to max out everything. First, go with a max speed, max acceleration, a max strength, then a 75 vertical, and a 93 stamina. All around, you guys see this build is very, very good. Your playmaking is definitely its weakest category, but this is a center build. For defensive / rebounding, this is very, very good. You're going to get a ton of blocks, and you're also going to get a ton of rebounds. Then your finishing is very, very crazy with gold bully and gold rise up, and then your shooting is honestly just insane. In my opinion, I believe this is just the best popper build. For takes, I recommend going with first stuff blocks and second limitless range. Stuff blocks is probably the best center takeover, and then limitless range is really, really good as well. It's just a fun takeover, and since this is a popper build, it also makes a ton of sense. And as you guys see, I built an inside out glass cleaner, which in my opinion does make sense as a name. Now moving on to how to make this build on current gen. Okay, so for the current gen version, again, you're going to want to go with center. Then for the body settings, go with 6'11", 236 pounds, and 7'5" for the wingspan. This is again going to be basically the exact same build. For the attributes, this is basically upgraded the exact same way with just some few very minor tweaks to make this build a little bit better on current gen. But we do have to account for these minor differences, which is why I've made very minor tweaks to the attributes just to like maximize badges and stuff. For the takeovers, unfortunately, it's not called stuff blocks and limitless range, but it's basically the exact same takeovers with rim and then sharp. And you guys can see I built an inside out scorer. Honestly, is a much boring name than an inside out glass cleaner. Anyways, with that being said, that is going to wrap it up for the video. If you did enjoy this video, please drop me a like and subscribe to the channel. There's 3 videos on the screen right now. Go follow me on TikTok, my Twitter, and subscribe to the second channel. I'm out. Peace.